According to the 2011 census, in Northern Ireland we have 365,000 disabled people.
In Northern Ireland, 1 in every 5 people are disabled, so obviously they have to get about and use taxi services too.
Unfortunately, there's more people becoming disabled through age problems, health problems.
We're all aware there's a growing ageing population in Northern Ireland who still want to access services and lead independent lives, and for this to happen, transport is key. Although we have a number of transport options, sometimes the best option for an older person or a person with any sort of impairments would be to use a taxi service. Not only does this get them smoothly from A to B, but also gives them that personal aspect. With older people, they enjoy the chat, they enjoy talking, because loneliness and social isolation is one of the biggest factors affecting older people. So they enjoy that intercommunication with another person, and that can be just through a simple taxi journey.
There are a lot of older people out there who do need, I mean, I'm bad enough, but there are others who are infinitely worse than I am, and they do need help. Well, the older people are and will be a big part of the society. They go to clubs, meetings, the same as anyone else, and they do require transport. So it's up to the taxi firms to supply adequate and taxi service for those older people.
We're all different, but a lot of us have other impairments, and the taxi driver mustn't make an assumption, particularly in older people, arthritis. There could be all sorts of difficulties that taxi driver is not aware of.
If you look at me, you know I'm a wheelchair user, so you know I have a very obvious mobility impairment. But I'm wearing a hat today, and you can't see my hearing aids. Taxi drivers would assume that the only thing he has to be aware of is getting my wheelchair into the cab.
The driver appreciates perhaps that you do have some physical disabilities, or in fact that you maybe have some intellectual disabilities that they need to be more mindful of.
Basically, I've been talking about people in wheelchairs because I am in a wheelchair, but my friends who have learning difficulties, my niece who's autistic, they have different needs. For my niece, it's important that we actually introduced her to a taxi driver from that company, so that when they would ring down, they would get him. Danielle knows his face, and then she's safe. She feels comfortable in the driving seat.
I've had an experience where I have actually phoned for a taxi and put the order through, and I've been waiting on it. And when the driver arrived, he was pleasant enough, but he did admit to me that he nearly didn't take the job. He nearly ignored the job because he felt that it was such a short journey. But when he arrived and he saw me standing and with the stick, he realised then I did have a mobility issue, and obviously I know it was a short journey to most people to walk, but not for me.
Because what maybe suits one disabled customer is not necessarily going to suit another, so it's about focusing on the individual and what suits their particular needs.
As you have seen from the videos, try not to make assumptions about your passengers. It is important to remember that all impairments may not be obvious or clearly visible, and different people have different needs. With an ageing population, the market and need for accessible services will continue to grow as people want to maintain their independence. For this, taxis will play an increasingly important role in communities, linking people to local facilities and services.